Bonjour à tous. Bienvenue à ma chaîne YouTube aujourd'hui. Merci d'être ici et bon visionnage. Today on my workbench I have John's QuadraFire brand Pellet Stove Controller. This is a model TASSB-93V.12A. John sent me this one because he was having problems with his stove. He was hearing a clicking sound inside, and some of the peripherals in the stove, such as the blower fan and the room fan and the auger motor, were functioning erratically, and some were staying on all the time. So after speaking with him about this, I suggested that he send it to me. I would have a look and see what I could do to help him out and repair it. I received this controller yesterday. I spent some troubleshooting time on it. I found the root cause. I repaired it, and now I'm ready to do final tests on it. As you can see, I have John's controller connected to my test fixture. My test fixture is made up of a few things. Of course, there's a wiring harness that connects the controller to it. I have a little green LED here, lamp, that will come on when we're calling for heat. That's exactly like the lamp on the back of your own stove. I have a thermostat such as the one mounted on your wall, so I can call for heat or not call for heat. I have a temperature simulator. Since I don't have a fire pit or a thermocouple, I have a thermocouple simulator, and as you can see I have it set to 62 degrees Fahrenheit right now, which you may consider cold or not calling for heat. At the back I have 4 light bulbs. I have one in white over here, which is the igniter simulator. In blue I have the combustion fan simulator. In yellow the auger motor simulator, and at the far end in red I have the convection or room fan simulator. Just know that for this controller we will not see this light come on. That is controlled by a thermal switch inside your stove, so we will not see that light come on during testing here. Now I currently have the controller powered off, so let me turn that on, and when we do, we see that the exhaust fan has come on. So that will stay like that for nearly 20 minutes if I were to do nothing, not call for heat or things like that. I will note that there are 5 timers inside the control box here, and I've checked all of them and they are functioning correctly. So I do know from prior testing that this light will go on after 20 minutes, or around 20 minutes, but that is not going to be part of this video here. So we maintain a temperature of 62 degrees Fahrenheit. We're not calling for heat. We don't have any of the lights on here, and we're in a steady state, so like I said, after about 20 minutes this light will go off and the stove will be ready to accept inputs. If we're in a bit of a hurry, let's say the room is cold and we want to warm it up, the first thing we'll do is we'll do a call for heat. And we'll do that by adjusting the thermostat. As you see, we have the auger has come on, and so has the igniter. So we are now calling for heat. You see the light on is green over here now. We don't have a light here at all, and we are calling for heat with the thermostat, but the room is still at 62 degrees Fahrenheit. So as the igniter warms up and the pellet load is being dropped into the fire pit, those pellets will slowly warm up. Eventually they will ignite, and the temperature of the fire pit will increase. So we'll slowly increase as the temperature increases. I'm now at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And when I get to 320, we see that the green light has come on. I've noted that on the controller. 320 degrees Fahrenheit, the green light comes on. So let me turn that down just a little bit. And it's off, on, off, on. So 320 is what I've written on here. So the next stage, if we continue to drop pellets into the fire pit and we have the igniter on, the fire will catch and the temperature will rise. If we get to the point of 1400 degrees and 50 Fahrenheit, which is what I've written in red, we'll see the red light come on. So let's do that. We'll slowly increase the temperature of the fire pit, and we'll slowly increase. We're at 600 degrees, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and we're at 1350. We'll go another 100 degrees yet. And when we do, we'll see some action in the lights at the back. There we go, we're at 1450. So at 1450, the red light has come on. We can see that in the video, I hope. And the igniter has gone off. So that means that the fire is hot enough. There's no point in supplying electricity to the heater since it's just a waste. Now we're in self-sustaining mode. We're calling for heat. The fire pit is hot. We have our 2 indicator lights on. We're driving pellets into the fire pit, and the stove itself should be warming up enough to the point where it will close the mechanical switch and the convection fan will come on and will start blowing heat into the room. As it blows heat into the room more and more, because everything is functioning correctly, the thermostat will notice that and it'll stop calling for heat. And there we go, we stop calling for heat, and we see that the auger motor has stopped. We're no longer feeding pellets into the fire pit, but the fire is still burning, right? Fire is still burning, still burning, still burning. The room will now start cooling a little bit as the fire diminishes. And as it cools, the thermostat might say, okay, let's generate more heat. So it comes back and calls for heat again. We see the call for heat light come on. The red light is on, so we're at 1477 degrees Fahrenheit or more. The fire is roaring, we're going well, we're dropping pellets into the fire pit. The room will start warming up again, and as it warms up, the thermostat stops calling for heat. As it stops calling for heat, the temperature in the room will slowly drop, the fire will diminish, and that cycle continues until the thermostat calls for heat one more time. More pellets get dropped in, the fire starts roaring again, the room warms up. The cycle will keep on going for as long as we want, as long as we have pellets in the hopper and the thermostat is calling for heat. That will continue happening. But at some point, we'll either run out of pellets or somebody will come in and say the room's hot enough, let's stop calling for heat, and we stop the stove. The fire will diminish, the light will stay on, but as the fire diminishes, we get out of the red zone and we're not calling for heat, so the auger's not, or the igniter's not coming on, and the fire continues to diminish. We're no longer in red here, of course, and as it continues to diminish, eventually we get to the point where the green light disappears below 320 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll get back to a room temperature of, let's say, about 65, 69 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll stay in that state, and as I previously noted, the combustion fan will continue running for about 20 minutes so that it can evacuate all of the smoke that might be in the firebox and make sure that everything is burnt off and everything is good. So then we're back in a steady state rest zone, and the stove is ready to accept further input further down the line. So somebody would need to come in, do a call for heat, and get the whole cycle going all over again. So John, there you have it. Your controller is once again fully functional. I've got rid of the two issues that you were mentioning to me. We are now in a position where I can send this back to you. I do want to thank you very much for sending it to me. I appreciate that very much. And for all you other viewers out there, if you have a pellet stove controller of your own, such as this one, a QuadraFire, or a Brackwell or USSC, and you have some questions or you have a need for service, please feel free to contact me. My contact information is in a short video linked below in the description here. In the meantime, I do hope you'll take a few seconds to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that very much. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.